Michael Jackson is a free man tonight. He was acquitted today of all charges, pronounced not guilty on the seventh day of jury deliberations. His lawyers tried very hard to paint a portrait of an innocent, modern-day Peter Pan, a childlike 46-year-old man who simply loves children. In the end, the jury decided the evidence of child molestation and other charges was not enough, and in siding with Jackson's defense, they handed prosecutors a big loss in a very public case. Our coverage begins tonight with NBC's Mike Taibbi. Mike, good evening.
Evening, Brian. For more than a dozen years, there have been rumors fueled by a tabloid frenzy and obsession with Michael Jackson, two payoffs to earlier accusers that amounted to millions of dollars, and finally, starting in January, a trial in this case that lasted for scores of witnesses and finally came to a conclusion with that series of not guilties, 10 in all, at the end of the second week in June.
When a British documentary in February 2003 repeated old rumors about Jackson, it also wrung this admission from him.
The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone.
That the pop star shared his bedroom with children, innocently, he said, including boys like this young cancer survivor. But that was enough to trigger a criminal investigation by a district attorney who had pursued Jackson for a decade.
Get over here and get checked in.
It took almost a year, but Jackson was arrested. The core of a 10-count indictment that charged that on at least 4 occasions at his Neverland Ranch, he had given alcohol to that cancer patient and then molested him. It was a difficult case. The boy and his siblings and mother all proved to be such credibility-challenged witnesses in the trial that most experts thought their testimony alone would not have led to a conviction.
Unless there's physical evidence, if this jury doesn't believe this boy, then there's no case.
But California is one of only a handful of states that in sex crimes trials allows testimony about old, unproven allegations. 3 of Jackson's alleged victims, notably the actor Macaulay Culkin, came to court to emphatically deny any inappropriate behavior by Jackson ever. But the cumulative effect of all that so-called propensity evidence, including Jackson's settlements with 2 earlier accusers, was undeniably powerful.
Critically important, powerful, but not enough to persuade this jury that the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt had been met. And a short time ago, those jurors, all 12 primary jurors and 8 alternates, answered some questions about how they reached the decision they did.
I think we all just looked at the evidence and pretty much agreed.
I would just say that we considered all of the evidence, and of course, since it's a criminal trial, it had to be beyond a reasonable doubt. And in looking at all of the evidence and not just one specific item, I mean, that's the conclusion we arrived at.
And arrived at that decision in less than 7 full days of deliberation. A reminder, we have not yet heard from Michael Jackson himself, who's now returned to his Neverland Ranch, or from his lead attorney, Tom Mesereau. We're expecting to hear something from Mesereau at some point. Back to you, Brian.
Mike Taibbi in Santa Maria, California for us. Mike, thanks.